Hey guys, welcome to Political Science 2306. This is American government. I wanted to just hop on, say hi, give you a little sense of what this class is about, how it's going to run, and then let you know how you can get in touch with me if that's something that you need to do moving forward. So, we're going to talk about the institutions that make America work. We'll talk about the Constitution, the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of government, how these things are set up, why they're set up that way, what works, what doesn't work, etc. And we're also going to talk about most of that stuff in the Texas context as well. Your textbook, actually, it's a web text, is electronic and it's actually embedded as part of your Canvas site. In order to get it, and this is also on a page at the back of your syllabus if you want to check it out again, once you go into Canvas, select this course, 2306. In the course, select Assignments, and then click on Chapter 1 Assignment, and then on the web text link. That should open up a new browser window or a new tab, so make sure that you've got your pop-up blocker off. Then provide payment and you'll be good to go. Once you've got it going and you take a look, you'll notice that the book has two different types of chapters. There are textbook chapters. Each of this is a traditional sort of textbook chapter, so you read about it. It's got words in bold with definitions, the basic concepts that you need to know. At the bottom of each page of the textbook chapters is what are called Get the Gist questions. These are just basic multiple choice reading comprehension questions. You can answer them as many times as you need to until you get it right. And you're going to do these on every page for every chapter. At the end of the semester, these Get the Gist questions will be worth 15% of your final course grade. Let me reiterate, you can redo them over and over again until you get 100%. So there is no reason not to maximize this 15% of your course grade. The second type of chapter you'll notice in your web text is called a workbook chapter. These are chapters that help you take a slightly deeper dive into the course material. So once you know what it is, these push you to really think about what those concepts mean for you and your life. And help you develop opinions about them or express or refine your opinions. They've got a combination of thinking questions, opinion polls, things like that. You can answer each of these questions once. The workbook chapters at the end of this semester will be worth another 15% of your final course grade. So 15% for Get the Gist questions in the textbook chapters, 15% for your performance on the workbook chapters. There are then 4 exams. So there's an exam for Unit 2, an exam for Unit 3, and an exam for Unit 4. And then there's a final exam. The exams are objective. They'll be all multiple choice, true, false, and matching questions. So there's no short answer, there's no essay, there's no opinion on the exams. There are 4 of them, but we're going to drop the lowest of those 4 grades. So if you miss an exam, it's not the end of the world. We're going to drop that 0. If you get to the final exam and you're happy with your first 3 exam grades, then you don't need to take the final. So one way to think about this is that the final is optional as long as you're happy with your other 3 exam grades. There's no need for it. Those 3 exams, each one's going to be worth 20% of your final course grade. So in total, the exams contribute 60% of that grade. So what else do I need to tell you? I guess the way this class is set up, it's for maximum flexibility. So I said there's Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4 exams. Unit 1 is just an introduction to the class. You're doing Unit 1 now. Unit 2 is going to be the beginning of the course material. That will start whenever you're ready to start it, but you'll have the first week and a half of class to work on all of that material. And again, the due date is by the unit. So the first exam is on, I think it's June 11th. It'll be open from 12:01 a.m., so the first minute of the day, until 11:15 p.m., the last minute of the day. The exam and all of the materials for that unit will all be due at 11:59 p.m. on that day. And then the next morning, you'll start the next unit, and you'll have a week and a half to work on it. The exam will be open on the final day of that unit, and all of that material will be due at the end of that day. And so it gives you a little bit of flexibility in terms of whether you want to pace yourself and do a little bit every day, or whether in your world it works better to just do it all in one big push 3 or 4 times during the course of the next 5 weeks. However you want to do it, That's how you can do the textbook chapters, workbook chapters, and then the exam dates are fixed. I guess my policy on late assignments, sorry, I was going to move on to the next thing, but let me go back for a second. My policy on late assignment is I don't accept any without a compelling explanation, usually a medical or a family emergency. And the reason for that isn't because I want to be a jerk. It's because you've got until the exam is finished to complete all the work for each unit. And so there's really no point in spending time after the exam is over trying to go back and do work that you're not going to need anymore when it's time to move forward and focus on the next stuff. So you've got plenty of time to get the work done. Go ahead and get it done. Unless something major is happening and blowing up in your world, I'm not going to accept late assignments, but you really shouldn't need them. All right, this kind of super flexible, almost fully self-paced schedule has a lot of upsides. But one of the downsides is that you don't regularly touch base with me and you very rarely, if ever, interact with each other. That doesn't work in an online class. And so this course is going to have one other part, and that's an online discussion community. And that's something that you're going to participate in every week. So each week, some of you are going to ask a question. And that question will be due by Wednesday at midnight. In addition, each week, all of you are going to answer 2 questions, and that's due by Friday at midnight. You can find the discussion community on the left side, the navigation menu of the class Canvas site, and you'll just click on it, go in and ask your question when it's your week to ask a question, and then each week you'll go in and find questions that you're interested in, find questions that you have something to say about, and answer 2 of them. Again, the asking is due Wednesday at midnight, the answering is due Friday at midnight. Which week you ask a question is going to be based on your last name. You will ask a question 1 out of the 5 weeks of the summer semester. There's a schedule for this in the syllabus that literally says, week 1, questions are due this day, answers are due this day and time. The people who ask have last names ranging from AA to BC, right, or BD. And then people who answer questions, everyone. And so you can just look at the schedule, but if it's not clear, or if you're not sure what week you're supposed to ask a question, definitely reach out to me and I'll see what I can do to get you set up. So questions and answers, what kind of questions do you ask in the online discussion community? It can be virtually anything related to American government or politics, either current or historical or both. I figure most people take this class because it's required, right? But there's got to be something about American politics, about American government, about the way this country runs, the way this state runs that you care about, that matters to you, that affects your life in a way that gets you going. And that stuff, that's what I want you to take and bring to this online discussion community. I don't want the course to suck for you. I want you to get stuff out of it. And part of what I want you to get out of it is taking stuff you really care about and enriching your knowledge, opinions, insights, sharing it with others, learning from others. That's part of college, right? And this is how we're going to do it in this class. So take that thing, ask questions about it, that thing that you care about politics, get answers, have a discussion about it. I guess, so it's really, truly very broad. One key, I guess, is that your questions need to provide as much detail as possible. So a 1-sentence question is not going to cut it. Somebody who's reading this question and has zero knowledge of the topic should be able to finish reading it and have enough information to put together a generally coherent response. Similarly, answers that provide appropriate sources that link to articles or videos or whatever are also really awesome. I'll put some more information in Canvas, probably under frequently asked questions, about how best to answer these discussion questions and how best to frame your discussion questions. Grading on the discussion community is on completion. If you ask a question when you're supposed to ask a question, you get full credit. If you answer questions every week, you get full credit. So there's no quality grading component. This is a completion grading component. I I guess one thing that means for you is that you're going to get out of it what you put into it. Oh, I should add things that you cannot ask, and this will all get added to Canvas as well. Don't use it to ask things like, when will the test be? Don't use it to ask factual information about information that's in the syllabus or the logistics and nuts and bolts in the course. Use it to ask about substantive topics related to the class material that you care about. It's graded on completion. You get out of it what you put into it. Oh, and your activity in the discussion community at the end of the semester will be worth 10% of your final course grade. I think that's it, right? The book is part of Canvas. The grade is textbook Get the Gist questions, 15% of your grade. Workbook chapters, 15% of your grade. 3 exams together worth 60% of your grade. And then your discussion community activity, which is 10% of your grade. The next thing for you to do is keep working through the Start Here folder. There's a to-do list there. And that's going to have the stuff that you need to get you really much more familiar with everything that I just said and stuff that I probably forgot. If at any point you need me, I'm here for you. I know it's easy to feel when you take online classes like you're taking them in a vacuum or on an island, and I really want to stress that you're not. What I'm going to do for this course is hold open format on-demand office hours. And so if at any point you need to talk to me or want to meet with me, shoot me an email or shoot me a Canvas message, and we will set that up at a day and a time that work for you. If you want, we can meet in person. I am in Denton for the summer. We can meet in my office in Wooten Hall. Most of you, I think, are probably not on campus, and so we can meet through Zoom, through Skype, through FaceTime, through Google Hangouts, on the phone. We can do it in whatever way works best for you and best serves our needs. So if you need me, I'm right here. Shoot me an email, shoot me a message. We'll figure out how to meet up, and we'll make it happen for you. I really want all of you to get A's, and so if at any point you're struggling, you need help, there's anything I can do, please don't hesitate to reach out for me. I think that's it. I'm sure when I remember what I've forgotten, I'll hop back on with some other videos and a bunch of announcements throughout the course of the semester. But for now, let me let you get back to what you're doing. Thanks for taking the class, guys. I look forward to working with you.